I just need to not be a lazy plant lady. It is time to refocus and create some plant goals for the new year. If you're into setting goals alongside someone else, let's do this together. Welcome to Mixing Plants and Crafts. My name is Rachel. Happy New Year. Today is my first day back recording since Vlogmas, and I'm a little rusty. But today we're talking plant goals and where this channel is headed for 2026. The new year is such a great time for me to set goals and get things started for the new year. I have a few things written down of what I plan to do. I did put a post out on YouTube talking about New Year plant goals, and a few of you have already shared yours, and I'm very thankful for that. I got a little glimpse of what you guys are planning for the new year, and in the comments, I would love to know your plant goals as well. So let's get into mine, plant goals, plant room goals, and what we have in store for the channel this year. I'll have timestamps down below if you want to jump around. For my first goal this year, I want to give Alocasias a real try again. I have struggled with them for so long. One of the worst plants that I can grow. It's such a struggle. But it's not entirely my fault.
I mean, it is partly my fault, but not entirely my fault.
I did rearrange this room in summer of last year, and the setup that I had my Alocasias in, they were doing really well. And then I took them away from that, which means I took away the heat mat. And since I took away the heat mat, it's just done terrible. So we're gonna put the heat mat back in the new setup over here and try to give it another go with them. I'm also gonna try pon with Alocasias again. I've tried leca, I've tried pon, I have them in soil. I have them in no drainage. I had them in drainage. I just struggle. Period. So we're gonna try again. We're gonna see how it goes. So the second goal I have is to grow out my starter plants, especially my Hoyas. I have a lot of Hoyas that are starters, and we're gonna take a kind of a little bit more care of them this year to grow them out, get better with watering. I don't really have just Hoyas as starter plants. I actually have some anthuriums that are starter plants, and we'll get to anthuriums in a little bit, but I want to focus on growing out the starter plants that I have, seeing how well I could get them to grow in the growing season. The next goal is fertilizer. I want to keep it simple and realistic for me. My first year of starting this plant hobby, I was guilty of buying multiple fertilizers and trying all these things out. Don't do that anymore. I'm not really like that. I like to focus on one thing and use it until it's finished and then replace it with something else. So I've used Foliage Pro since last year, and it's just worked out well. I want to get better at fertilizing. I did buy another fertilizer for my repotting. So I'm using Osmocote. I did do that last year as well. So Osmocote and Foliage Pro is what I use for fertilizer, and that's what I'm going to stick with. I don't always fertilize with every watering, and I think that is what I'm going to kind of change up this year and try to do that with every watering. The next goal is I am going to be trying a new plant genus. Believe it or not. You'll see that in another video.
But I'm not going to tell you what it is just yet. I'm going to make you guess.
If you can guess what it is, let me know. But I am going to try another plant genus. I'm excited about it. I want to see how I do with it. I feel my plant care, as much as I struggle with it, I have gotten better in areas. And because I've gotten better, I want to try some new things. So we'll see. One of the other goals I have here that I've not written down, I want to get to know my community better with plants. So I have a little community in my neighborhood on Facebook. So we have Facebook communities. A lot of cities and towns have that. I want to get to know them a little better. We'll be here 3 years in July, and I know one person in my neighborhood, and she is a plant lady, and it only happened because last year I got some guts and knocked on her door and asked her if she loves plants. And now we're friends. And I want to get to know more people. She'll introduce me to other people. So my goal is to get to know my community a little better with plants. So I'm definitely going to be purging a lot this year and giving plants away in my neighborhood. And for those who live closer to me, we're going to be doing plant trades. Not really buy a lot of plants this year, but in the way I get new plants, I want it to be more in trades than purchases. I'm not going to say I'm not going to buy any plants at all in 2026 because that's not going to happen, because I just shared I'm going to try a new plant genus, and in order to do that I have to buy it. So I want more of my plants to come in through trading, and that involves community, and I'm excited about that part more than anything. Okay, so the next goal is rethinking anthurium care. I gotta get better with my anthuriums. I don't really enjoy seeing them struggle. There are some anthuriums that I have that I'm very excited to grow. There are some anthuriums that I have that I could be happy with if they die. But honestly, some of these anthuriums, they live really long. They struggle and they look sad,
but they're not dying.
The Anthurium forgetii is in another room, thinking it was gonna croak. No, it keeps giving me more pups. I have all these pups growing in my Anthurium pot. So, and I know that's for me is a sign that I need to repot. I'm gonna be addressing this this year, trying to just do better with them. You know, anthuriums for me, in my experience so far, they just need a lot of space to grow, and which means they just need to be repotted more often than some of my other plants. And the pot size just keep getting bigger and bigger. But I have some thoughts about some things to try with them to see if I can get them to grow a little better this year. So we're going to be doing all that together. Did I say that I have them growing in no drainage? So most of them are in no drainage, and they were doing really well when I first set it up, but now they're not. And you know why? It's because they need to be repotted. I don't want to. I don't want to do it. We're gonna try some things. I mean, my Anthurium, I'm looking at it right now. My Anthurium veitchii is one of my favorite anthuriums that I have. That plant is very unique. It kind of reminds me of where I grew up. Even though it's not native to Trinidad and Tobago, it kind of has a similar vibe of what plant I would see outside my house. And I like it. So we're gonna be doing some things. Editing Rachel here. I realized I missed a goal, and it's a kind of an important one for me. I want to focus on getting some of my Hoyas to bloom that did not bloom in 2025. That means researching their native habits, understanding climate and light, see how I can tweak the plant room to give them more of their natural environment. So I'm hoping to get some blooms this year. It's a bloom focused year. Okay, so the next goal is to get my begonias healthy again. Watering and fertilizing. Begonias are just very hungry, and I need to kind of, if I know that they're so hungry, I need to feed them more. So we're going to be kind of doing that. I have something in mind to getting them set up in a way it could be a little bit more easier for me, but we're gonna be doing begonia care a lot more this year. So the next one is pinguiculas. I want to get more, but not really in a rush. Because pinguiculas multiply so quickly, I already have to change the setup that I have, because the one ring planter pinguiculas, they're kind of outgrowing it outwardly. So I have to give them a repot, and I'm going to propagate. I want more around the house through the main pinguicula that I have. So I don't want to buy more, but I want to propagate those more. So I want one set in the living room, and I want at least 2 here, probably maybe in my bedroom as well. I kind of want them all over the house to to eat the fungus gnats. I want to try with leca again this year. Basically, you know what? Maybe
I just need to not be a lazy plant lady.
that's the goal. That's the main goal. This video could be finished with that one goal because that's really what it is. I need to not be lazy anymore with my plants. I do have a new watering routine that I started last year and it is working out really well. So the next goal is plant styling. I want to do some more plant styling this year and it's going to happen in spring. Definitely not going to happen in winter. It is too cold to do any of that. I already bought some of the items that I need and we're going to style my living room. I just want to enjoy my plants there as well. I don't really want the whole plant shop look anymore. Although I don't mind having a plant room, honestly. I love having a plant room, but as my plants continue to grow, they're going to need more room. And my living room is going to be what I'm going to use to give the plants more room. I have to get creative because of my dog with epilepsy. He can be near plants when he's coming out of a seizure. I have thoughts on how to get creative with that. So look out for some plant styling videos this year. I want to do quarterly goal check-ins for these goals that I'm doing. I don't want you to just see what's happening at the end of the year. I will do that quarterly check-in. With my goals, I'm going to be doing some journey videos. That's kind of what I called it. It's going to be, you know, how I'm going to fix my anthurium, getting them set up from start to finish. So it's going to be months long in the making kind of video. Just one video instead of multiple videos that I used to do. I'm just going to try that this year to see how it works. Basically, you're going to be watching a plant rehab from start to finish or watching a plant grow up. So that's kind of my vision for the journey videos. Now for YouTube. I'm going to be celebrating my second year on YouTube in a few weeks. I cannot believe it's going to be 2 years. I never would have thought I would ever be on YouTube talking about plants of all things. My plans for YouTube shared, I'll be doing journey videos with my plants from start to finish. I'm not going to do every plant that way, so I'm just going to select a few that I'll be doing that with. So last year I couldn't do something like this because of storage, because you have to store a lot of footage on plant. But I have the storage now, so you're going to get to see that this year. And I think I shared this earlier, one plant at a time videos from what I was doing with my Hoyas. I'm going to continue that, but I'm going to do it with all my plants. So I'm going to try to share my whole plant collection with you this year. And probably that will go into next year because I don't think I will be able to share every plant with you in 1 year. That would just be my YouTube channel. And of course, we'll be having some plant crafts. I already have some plant crafts in mind already that I'm going to do this year. I'm excited to try that with you. More plant chores and more plant vlogs that we're going to do this year. Plant chores and plant vlogs helps me get a lot of things done at one time in one video. And sometimes I need that. And I think like some of you guys need it too. I don't know. For me, I like to have somebody that I can do things with. I want to start doing some research-based videos that answers some why questions. I already have a few videos already in process with the research. The research videos take a lot longer to do, but it's doable. I'm just kind of widening my YouTube library, making it a little bigger for you guys. I want this channel to be a little bit of entertainment, inspiration, and education as well. And it helps me learn because I'm getting to do the research on it and learning. So I'm excited for that. Every year I pick a word of the year. Last year my word was refine. And the year before that it was cultivate. I kind of use this word of the year to be my guide, how I am intentional with my year. It is a bit of a guide for me. So my word for this year is nourish. So when I'm planning projects, when I'm even caring for my plants, when I'm even like caring for myself, or answering something if it's a yes, no. My word of the year kind of helps me answer that question. Is this thing going to nourish me in some way? Nourish my channel, nourish myself, nourish my family. So that's kind of where my word of the year comes from. It is a bit of a guide for me. And if there's any plan that you want me to do a video on, just let me know. I'll be happy to do it. I've already started doing some of my Hoyas last year, one at a time, and I'm going to continue to do that. I actually want to eventually go through my whole plant collection one by one. So that's going to be something that's going to be coming out. Of course, I can't share my experience with a plant if I've had it for 3 months. I don't think that's not experienced enough for me. I want to say a year. If I had a plant for a year, I'm happy to share my experience with it. 3 months is just not long enough for me to share. Like, I just don't know if that's going to be any value to anyone else. As I share my plants with you this year from my plant room, I hope this channel give you nourishment as well. As corny as it may sound, I'm very serious. I want to give value with my channel. If that value comes in learning something new or a little bit of hanging out with me, doing some plant chores, I want to help inspire you this year. Those are my goals for the year. I do have a lot of goals, but I want to get my plants looking better. I want to be better. I want my plants to be better. I know I will have to pivot my goals once I get a job. And I hope it's a pivot in a way that you guys don't even notice. If this video resonated with you and you enjoy reflecting on plants in a deeper way, I do share more over at Patreon. I do plant journals, I do extra videos, and we do have a monthly chat as well. There's also a space for somebody who's starting off on YouTube in the creator space. I have a space for that as well, for accountability, for inspiration and encouragement. I have another space for that. That I'm very excited to do this year. So that's also new. So I hope you got some goal planning done of your own, and I'm reading some of your goal planning as they come in, and you guys have already shared some goals with me, and I appreciate that so much because I like to know what's going on with you as well. So tell me your goals in the comments and enjoy the rest of your day, and always remember you are loved. When I told you my whole thing is lazy plant parent, so yeah, that's like the word of the year kind of fits that. Okay, let's not share that. Okay, let's not procrastinate anymore. I got my cuppa. Ooh, if I put this